Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So I've been AWOL for a few weeks. I don't think I've uploaded a video for almost 4 weeks now, which, given that I was religiously uploading pretty much every week since I first started doing this on YouTube in, I think it was July last year, this is the biggest break that I've had. But anyway, I just wanted to film a video essentially to say where I've been, what I've been up to, and what I've got coming up in the future. So to cut a bit of a long story short, I mean, since Paris and since marshalling at London, I haven't really been doing that much. And I've had a bit of post-marathon blues, to be honest. So riding the crest of the wave, going into Paris, running Paris, having an amazing time marshalling at London, it's been a little bit of a come down. And I know this is it's a regular thing. A lot of marathon runners get this, but I have felt it. So the week post London, I did around about 50k. So I got myself back up. I ran 5 days that week, and I felt like I was sort of starting to get back into the swing of things. And on the Sunday, I decided to go and do a hill session. So I'd not done any hill sessions. I think I talked about in one of my marathon debrief sessions that I needed to get back into it. So I thought, right, Robin, who is a friend of mine and one of the fellow Harriers, suggested doing it. So I went along with him and I did quite an intense hill session. And at the end, my Achilles that obviously I'd injured, for want of a better phrase, before Paris, started causing me a bit of grief again, and it got quite sore when I got back from the hill session. Of course, I got a bit giddy, I got a bit cocky. I put something on Strava like, hills pay the bills. Well, the hills did not pay the bills in this instance, and my Achilles got quite sore again. And up until that point, it had been very manageable. Like, I'd had no huge discomfort since Paris. It was still there, but it hadn't got any worse. It wasn't getting any better, but it was just sort of something I was running with and dealing with, and it wasn't getting any worse. So I was still doing strengthening exercises, etc. So I was just sort of managing it. Anyway, it got worse after the hills. So thankfully I've got private medical insurance with my work. So I put like a claim in and ended up having a physio call on the Friday following the hill session. So if today is the 17th, so Sunday the 17th of May, I think it was in and around sort of about 10 days ago-ish, something like that. And obviously it's difficult to diagnose on a video call, but she diagnosed me with what was called insertional Achilles tendinopathy with a midfoot strain. And her view was no running, no stretching, but I could do strengthening. I could do strength and conditioning. I could do cross training, but no running. So I decided to take heed of her advice, and I didn't run. But she did book me in for an in-person consultation the following Friday. So I couldn't do parkrun. I couldn't do any running. So I went and marshalled. I had a great time on that Saturday. I was down by the lake at Royal Tunbridge Wells for anybody that's done it. Beautiful setting. It was a lovely day, and it was actually quite a quick parkrun. I think there were some guys down there on a wedding party down from London, and all of them were quick. So they were all racing each other, which was quite good fun. But yeah, it was a beautiful day to do marshalling, but sadly I couldn't run. I got into a bit of a gym routine, so I have started going to the gym fairly regularly. What can I do? So I can do the stair machine, which is a killer, elliptical, static bike, boring, rowing machine, weights, strength. So I am able to do stuff, but I don't get the same level of endorphins, the oxytocin that I get from running. So it is definitely something that I'm really having to force myself to go and do. We've also managed to get the static bike set up in the new room downstairs. So I don't know if I've mentioned this on the YouTube channel previously, but I am now, you may have noticed, in a different backdrop, because what was my office and my man cave has now been turned into a nursery, because our baby boy is due in just over 5 weeks. So it's been that's the other thing over the last 4 weeks. It's been a bit crazy in terms of trying to get baby ready, etc., etc. But we've had our garage converted, so we've got a new room down there. Claire is working down there. and this is going to be my office moving forward. So we've had a bit of a switch around, but we've got the static bike set up down there, and I've got that set up, which is nice. So I'm able to do that as well. I then went and saw the in-person physio, and essentially she gave me a very similar diagnosis, but it is not insertional Achilles tendinopathy. Now, for those of you that are physios or know a bit about it, that is a good sign. So it means that essentially I can still stretch it. I can put a little bit more load through it. I've just got to strengthen it. Bad news is still no running. So she said I certainly can't run. Well, she doesn't want me to run for at least another 3 weeks until she can see me again. She also said there is definitely something with the fascia. So now I'm not sure if that's plantar fasciitis or if it's something different, but basically I've got two issues. One is the Achilles and one is the fascia in my foot. And one has obviously caused the other. She doesn't know which way around it is, but what she wants to do is strengthen the Achilles and get that sorted first, and then we'll move on to the fascia. So again, no running, but I can do all of the exercises that I said previously at the gym. Is it frustrating? Yeah, of course it is. Any injury is frustrating, but I feel like I've got a path to get back there. What I just need to do is make sure I try not to lose too much fitness in these next however many weeks. I said it's going to be at least 3, so that would be 5 weeks off running, but it might be longer. Who knows? It just depends how quickly I can get my Achilles back up to strength, and that's really down to me to make sure I'm doing the exercises that she's given me, not overloading it, not being silly, not running. So yeah, that's that. I was meant to be running Marden 10K at the end of this month. Obviously I've set my PB there previously. That's off the cards now. I haven't really got anything else in the diary because, as I said, our baby's due at the end of June, so I didn't want to overload myself, overcommit to anything, because you just never know. Could come sooner, could come later. And then once he's here, who knows what my training schedule will be like. And I'm sure I'll be doing some videos about what that looks like as a new dad in terms of how much I can train, how I prioritize it, etc. So yeah, so yesterday I did a new role at Parkrun. So yeah, I'm basically volunteering a lot at Parkrun at the moment. I was a timekeeper, which was really enjoyable, but actually quite stressful at times. I didn't think it was going to be as stressful as it was, but when you've suddenly got a group of 10, 12 people all finishing at the same time, and you've got to make sure you're tapping the right number of times to get it. Otherwise, obviously, not everyone gets the right numbers. Now, obviously, there's 2 or 3 of you doing it, so you can make it work. But it was really enjoyable, but very different. A lot more stressful than marshalling. So I'm trying to make myself useful. I'm trying to keep myself busy. I am not too downhearted that I'm not running, because I am able to go to the gym. It's still able to exercise, but it's just not quite the same. And any of you who are runners who've got injured previously will know what this feels like. So here we are. So what have I been doing? So I managed to do a little bit of time spending some, reading some more stuff on coaching in between reading books about being a dad. So it's been sort of a hybrid of my reading over the last month or so. And on the back of that, I'm hoping that whilst I can't do any training videos really over the next 3 or 4 weeks, because I can show you my gym routine, but it's not very exciting. But I'm hoping that I am going to be able to create some more interesting videos, maybe some more educational stuff, some interesting stuff that isn't just about my training, but it's more around broader concepts, etc. over the next sort of few months. So watch this space. So that is my update. I'm only going to post content now when I think that I've got something to post. I think for the last year, I've generally been trying to post weekly because I've generally been training for something, or I've had something in the diary that I thought was worth posting. But I think it's important that I don't just spam videos for the sake of trying to keep the algorithm up to date so that you guys see it. I'm going to try and just post as and when I feel like I've got something useful or interesting to say. As I said, this is just an update video to let you all know that I am still around. I am still going to be posting videos. I've just had a little bit of a lull for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I hope to be back fighting fit, running again, let's say in the next 4 to 6 weeks. But that is all dependent on how the physio goes. So Thank you for watching. This has been a bit of a monologue update, but I will hopefully post some more interesting content for you all in the near future, and I look forward to getting back to it as soon as I possibly can.